guys, this is Comic Uno. Today I'm doing a review for Hawkeye Annual Issue 1. Before we start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Only one update, really. But Comic Uno episode 6 is going to be up today, which is DarkAvengerINC episode, where I review every comic book I read in 1 week in one show. And here's the exclusive comic book just for that show, which is Scarlet Spider issue 19, Young Avengers issue 8, Wolverine and X-Men issue 33, and Ultimate Comics X-Men issue 29. So if you want to go check out those reviews, and of course every comic book I read it in one show, go check out Comic Uno episode 6, which will be annotated, and that's on Dark Avenger Inc. Let's talk about Hawkeye Annual issue 1. And I was actually surprised that Hawkeye was getting Annual. Happy, because Hawkeye is one of my favorite series. It's been a little bit less great as it usually is with the past couple of issues, but still excited to read the Annual. You know, it's still a very solid series. And this cover didn't make me so interested, though. It's very simple, this art. And usually David Odge's art is simple but beautiful type of simple, and it works. But with this, it's just so simple, with not a lot of detail at all. It felt like Archie simple, like very careless simple even. There's not even eyes right here. Kate doesn't even have eyes there. It just felt very puffy type of art. I like the coloring for it that, you know, still has the purple, which is cool. Also, we see over here, since it's annual, it's $4.99 book. And I have to say, this is not as, let me try focus for the $4.99, or you guys could just believe me. Just believe me, it's $4.99. But yeah, it's $4.99, so Hawkeye, well, most annuals are a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker. It actually feels thicker. With this issue, it didn't really feel as thick. It felt longer than a usual Hawkeye issue, but it didn't really feel thick. When you feel it, it feels like a normal issue. And if you compare it to, like, say this, it feels it doesn't really feel thick for like an annual and a couple of bucks extra. So I have to put that in my rating also. But I think as you read the issue, it did feel longer than a normal Hawkeye issue. So in this story, we do get Kate's tired of Clint, and I guess Clint is moaning because of Gil's death, but they didn't really say that in this issue. And honestly, there's been so many filler issues that you kind of forget what Clint's mad at, because you really haven't seen Clint mad. That hasn't really been developing. So Kate just wants to go off on her own journey and be herself, because she's always in someone else's shadow. I mean, she's the second Hawkeye, and there's another Hawkeye, so already active, Clint. So she wants to make her own identity. Not to be her father's daughter, and not to be like a rich girl, and not just be Hawkeye. Or, you know, kind of sidekick, not really sidekick. So she wants to make her own identity. So she goes to LA. And Madame Mask sees that Kate Bishop's in LA and wants to take advantage of that. So she pretends to be someone else as Kate goes to this very expensive hotel just to relax and, I guess, make her own identity there and use her father's money. But Madame Mask says, alright, let's try to take this as my advantage. And for some reason, I guess Kate was cut off by her father, or maybe, I guess cut off. It really wasn't explained in this issue, but she doesn't have any money to her name. Maybe her father is just going broke. That could be another story. Because we do get to see a little bit of her father in this issue, and they talk. He has a new wife. They don't really have a close relationship. And new wife is only 3 years older than Kate and actually went to school with Kate. And they're going on a whole trip around the world. And Kate's like, I don't really want to do that. But it doesn't seem like her father was upset with her. So he's like, oh, but I pay all your bills. I don't know how you're going to make your own identity. But I don't think he cut her off. It just didn't seem like that in this issue. So maybe he's just becoming poorer. But we do see that Kate's all poor. She has like $80 to her name, so Madame Mask invites her to her house. And she doesn't know it's Madame Mask until she says something about cigarettes. And she's like, oh no, I remember this woman, Madame Mask, said that. So obviously it's Madame Mask. And there's other signs here in this issue to see that it is Madame Mask. And Kate tries to defeat Madame Mask. She gets away. She doesn't really defeat her. And she tries to make her own life. She tries to make her own life by getting a job, which she's never done. She's taking a cat of these hippie ladies, their cat. She's taking care of that. I guess she's going to work at a sporting goods store also. And she's living in LA. And that's her destiny right now. I thought this was good. I liked the issue a lot. I think it was a solid issue. I mean, there's definitely some things here that, as saying the story, there's some inconsistencies, I would say. It's some less interesting things. So I was kind of confused with some parts, especially with the father. I was like, did he cut her off? Is he becoming poor? Because I was always interested in the father story, because we've never seen him ever. The first time we see Kate is actually at this rich wedding for, that's the first time we ever seen Kate. Her first appearance is at a rich wedding for her sister. So, you know, there's this family background of being rich, and I feel like that's never been explored ever, and I'm hoping Hawkeye we'd get to see that more exploration of her family, and hopefully the relationship with her father, her sister, her new mother, Heather, her Heather, as she says it. So I'm hoping we get to see that more explored and just mentioned here. But it was a little confusing here, because I would love to see maybe the father become poor somehow, and that could be a really explored story. And hopefully they explain more of that as issues go on, because I'm pretty sure issue 7 is connected to the annual. And then I'm a little confused how Hawkeye's going to work with Clint and Kate if Kate is in LA getting all these jobs. I was a little confused there. She doesn't even have arrows to her name. I'm guessing she's going to be working at that sporting goods place. So there's a little confusing stuff. But I thought it was a really fun story and a good Kate story. Again, looking into, you know, her being rich, her trying to make her own identity. The art was not good here, though. I gotta say Ajo would have been better, but obviously it's understandable why he didn't do this issue. But this was very simple art. It felt a little bit too simple here. It just was not that good. It felt puffy is the best way to put it. But it wasn't great art that we usually get with this series. So I do give this 4 stars. I think enjoying this story and how fun this story really was, put some of those gripes into another side and made me kind of forget about the gripes. So I am going to give this 4 stars. I think this is really a fun issue, and I think it's worth the $4.99 if you really like Kate's character. If you don't like Kate's character, I think you learn enough about her character here. Maybe if you're not as knowledgeable about Kate, you might like this issue. But I thought I had fun with the story. Again, there are some gripes here, so it's definitely not a perfect issue, but I would give it 4 stars. Maybe I'm being a little generous about this issue, but I would give it 4 stars, and I want to see where this goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and I will see you guys later. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and their own situations, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.